9370 actually had a few items we had to do. Replace the fuel line from the fuel tanks going to the injection pump. It was sucking air, causing it to idle kind of hard, and it wasn't de-throttling properly when you let off the gas. Also fixed the hood straps, so now there's better hood straps holding this hood on because the ones I'd put on there before didn't last. And then some odds and ends inside. So, 9370 with the Demco trailer, good to go. Can't wait to run this bad boy. Soon enough. That's a joy seeing this truck come around down the road to come catch you. Dump a load of grain in and see it take off again. It is as awesome as it looks, believe me. It's pretty awesome. Big Brute is about ready to become a fire truck. I've got a couple things I gotta do to him. The airbag in the seat blew out, so I gotta get one of those because it's a rough ride without that. And then the other issue that I ran into is, well, must have hit a bump, something happened and the polymer tank cracked up here. Little hairline crack about a ½ inch. It definitely squirts water out. That's why we haven't been using Big Brute spray with recently, because that's a mess. We got to try to plastic weld that tank up. I'm not really excited about doing that. I tried some glue, didn't work. Tried some adhesive, didn't hold. Tried some Flex Seal. Okay, actually I didn't have any on hand. I should have tried that though. But when we get that fixed and get the tank fixed, then I'll put the fire tamer on the front of this, and we'll turn this baby into the fire truck, and that'll be ready to chase combines, because they're gonna be on fire, harvesting hopefully a big crop. Not literally on fire, but you know, just awesome fire. There goes Dad. He's been kicking butt spraying. And then there's the Blue Pete. Everything's done up here. Engine fluid's all good. Check. Brakes, check. Greasing, check. Just gotta finish my walkthrough through the whole thing. Otherwise, I think this truck is ready to roll. You can see the paint job. This thing had a brand new paint job when we bought it. It's sad to see happen. It's getting chipped up. You can buy these aluminum racks that go in front of here that help block all that. We've done our best with putting rubber. That's actually broke right there. Rubber in different places to try to deflect all the rocks that come off these front drive wheels, or these rear front axle drive wheel. It's just hard. The way this trailer is built, it doesn't overhang far enough, and it just pelts that cab. And we've got, I believe, yeah, the fifth wheel plates actually slid fairly far forward, but yeah, either way, that's just unfortunate. Driving on gravel roads, trucks just take a beating, but that truck's not worth a whole lot to begin with, so we'll just repaint it someday. So I'll wrap this one up, get it parked, and then I'm gonna do an inventory on parts for the combines and headers, see how we're sitting, make a list of stuff that we need to get, which I've actually already started. We're real low on coolant, low on some oils, a lot of odds and ends, so yeah. And then we gotta make a run to, you know, like a Sam's Club or a Costco and load up on a lot of snacks. Gotta fill that office full of food, all kinds of food, because we burn through it every year. What are you doing?
I have to use a lathe. Actually, it's a good thing because I like the lathe. On the gate assembly on the Mauer trailer, they have these little nylon bushings that spin. As you can tell, there's a lot of slop on it. The gates drop down, which is putting pressure on the gate slide, and they're very hard to crank open. So I'm taking little nylon round stock and I'm making new rollers and replacing the old ones.
Trucks are done, so now we're switching to headers. Leg arms put new fingers in the center auger. It's got a couple in it already, but they have spots where you can add more and they're just not there. In crops like yellow peas, they don't feed very well, so we were told put more in there and it'll make it easier, but they're kind of a pain to put in. You got these little axis holes. You can see leg arm's arm is stuck inside there, and you got to put these in. So anyways, he's gonna put a couple of those. I'm just going through inventory on parts. Here's a bunch of header parts here. These are the guards on your cutter bar, and that's what they should look like when they're new. Nice black all together. And this is what they look like when they break. The tips broke off of it. And that's a pretty typical spot for them to break, but the thing is, they're like 15, 20 bucks a piece for these or something. I don't know, it might be more than that. I can just weld a little tab of flat iron where the break was and make this one good to go again. So I've got a whole box of them here. I'm gonna go through and just start welding tabs on them and get them back into working order, and then we'll go through those. Then there's ones like these where the actual end is busted off. Can't do much about that, but this could be turned into an end piece for the very end of the header or the sickle bar. So we'll see if we wanna do that. A couple other odds and ends. I just gotta go through, sort some of stuff, put some kits, splice kits for sickle bar, got new fingers to reel. So do a little inventory check here, and I'll get a better idea how we're sitting, but getting there, it's fun. All right, let's grab some flat iron. Got some hiding here somewhere. The question is, do I have some that'll fit what I'm looking for. That is too wide. That might work. Not really thick enough, but it might work. Well, I just say let's just do it. Use that iron. What's the worst could happen? It doesn't work and a little $15 piece of flat iron is thrown away. Or it could save us a couple $100 and my time. Let's go. There you have it. Look at that. Pile of guards. Guess what it cost us? Well, the initial cost, but didn't have to buy one of these bad boys. We got that beauty. It actually will work just fine. As long as the spacing is correct for the knife to be able to cut through in there. All that top little lip does is just create a pinch point for the blade to pinch the straw or whatever crop you're cutting and slice it. So it doesn't take much. It'll smooth out. My welds will get nice and polished. It'll be shiny as a mirror, pretty much. So, all right, now I'll put that in the boxes and we'll use those. Another pro tip is the very end guards. There's a left and a right, and it's right here. Half of this is a regular length, and then there's a little stub. Well, when yours break like this, just finish cutting off the rest of that stub, and then boom, you have to buy that special end piece. Saving money, lots of money to spend when these things need filled up with diesel. Well, I think the plan is now we're gonna hook the header up. Leg arms in front of the feeder house on this combine, and it looks good. So we can put a couple more fingers in that header auger. I guess we're good to hook it on. We can put it on, lift it up, hook it up, run it, see how things are sitting. Headers are coming right along. Change the hydraulic filters on this header, tighten the chains on the reel, and then the center auger. And then this cylinder was leaking really bad, so we put a new seal kit in that. We're gonna go ahead and put some fresh oil into this thing because it leaked out a bunch when it was squealing last year. And then that will be pretty well wrapped up, minus the cutter bar. Gotta go through and place the guards in the sections. And then this one, leg arm's gotta finish putting the fingers in it, and we'll get it hooked up to Beast Spine. Check the fluids on it too. Making progress slowly and surely. Got some buckets of Hy-Tran here ready to go for the combines in case we get a little low, and then got some spare tires as well for the headers because, well, 2 of them have got cords showing, and I don't think they're gonna last much longer, so we want those on hand so we don't have to take time in case we're at the evening and then, you know, tire shop's closed and we can't get in there to get it fixed and the combine's down for the day. But yeah, these 2 right here, pretty bad. They need replaced. That hydraulic oil container, portable, T2 Services did a great job making it. It's pretty awesome. Thank you for giving that to us. We love it. It's really convenient. Time to mate the header up to this combine. Beast Spine finally gets the head on it. So far so good. Not a lot of things really that are coming out that seem like they need a lot of work. Feeder house and these are all tight. Everything seems pretty good. So I believe this is all ready. Hook her up and then hook all the lines up. And then the next process, I'm just gonna keep going through the combines, greasing and checking tensions and looking at sprockets and bearings and everything. We'll eliminate it and get it there and to the point where we feel confident that we're ready to go to the field. There we go, she's on. Yeah. That's easy. Easy. What do you guys think? Run it and then have them pop in the field and then have to change it in the field? Or do I change them now because I just bought 2 tires for it? I'll change them now. It's kind of a chintzy trailer setup on here for these wheels when you put it in the road mode and you carry this thing. It's yeah, they're not really something you want to go a lot of miles, but they do around here. Obviously in this country, as you guys have noticed, we don't really have a lot of header trailers, header dollies, whatever you call them. Not a lot of guys do that. Most people just take the heads on the combines and they pull them off and use the transport wheels and pull them out and then take the header where they need to and then put them back on. They don't actually have a separate trailer for the header. I can see the pros and cons, but I guess the big con out here is it's one more trailer you have to deal with, one more vehicle you have to deal with to tow it around when, you know, out here is, we put our headers on once and they don't come off until we put them in the building. Convenience about big open fields. You do get away with that. Not often, but you do here. Not entirely sure why one of them had a tube and one of them didn't, but I took the tube out and made it tubeless because I really don't want to deal with tubes. And plus, that's gonna be a great addition to the pool. It's for the kids. Not mine. Mine are too young. I got nieces and nephews in the area, and they are prime pool age. Believe me, they are making good use of that pool. Unfortunately, us guys don't get to because we gotta work. But you know what? The reason we have a pool is because we work. So that's good. So we have two 45-foot headers that we run on this farm on our 8230s. And one came with a cross auger, or some like to call it a P-auger. It's an auger that sits above the drapers, right on the top of the backbone frame of the header. And what happens is when light material that's fluffy, that doesn't get a lot of friction on the canvases, on the drapers, it just sits there and floats. The reel starts catching it and throws it over into a real pain. So we got a really good deal from Torgerson's, our local Case IH dealership, on this cross auger here to put on our other header, because only one of ours had it, and it was not fun to harvest peas without it in the other header. So this year we'll be prepared to harvest a lot of peas, and the peas could be our best pea crop we've ever had. Unfortunately, peas are worth about nothing right now, so we'll figure out what to do with them later. I should probably give them a hand, huh? There's really not much to it. It's just a little hydraulic motor on the end that ties into the hydraulics of the header. This whole header is ran almost entirely by hydraulics. It has its own pump on it, its own hydraulic reservoir, its own filter. It's all pretty much self-contained in that system. The only thing that is used as hydraulics off the combine is the reel. But anyways, so it'll just basically slave off the pump system on here and just slowly turn. Doesn't turn very fast, just enough to kind of keep the material flow into the center of the header so it can enter the feeder house. A couple weeks ago we got a special package from our channel partner Case IH from a buddy down at the Magnum factory. Brian sent us a whole bunch of these LED beacons, leftover ones from Magnum tractors and whatnot from the factory that they weren't using, and he said, hey, you guys want to use these? I said, absolutely. So I'm gonna upgrade B-Spine and Clifford's beacon lights because they're the old school ones that burn out and the motor stop turning. These are LEDs that flash, so it'll make our combines look almost like 8250s. Almost. We're getting there until we actually buy 8250s. But until then, this is the best thing we got. So thanks, Brian. So you can see how cloudy that is. Yeah, the light doesn't hardly work. I don't even think that one spins. Problem I run into is the connection for the bottom of these is completely different than what's on here and the way it mounts. I have an idea though. The bolt holes look to be the same on the LED lights, and I'm wondering if I can find the wires inside and rig them up so they can hook into this connector here. And if I can and it mounts on, we're good to go. Let's give it a shot and see what happens. By the way, I just want to say it's been an absolute pleasure working with Case IH. They've been a great company to be a part of this YouTube experience, and they're just always doing stuff for us behind the scenes. You guys don't even see it. It's just awesome. They're a great team. A lot of good people in that company. So just so you know, and I'm not biased here. I'm just saying our experience with them has been awesome. They're a lot of good people working in there. So I wish the best for them. So let's make this combine awesome to, you know, represent what they got. Cool. So here's what we got on the inside of this beacon. Just what I thought. We've got two leads coming out of here. So I can take this apart, and if I can use this connection here and somehow adapt it to this, we're golden. But I got to take this apart, so let's pull this apart right now. All right, we're on the right track here. I think this is going to work. I'm going to mash this lead down, crunch it, because I think it'll fit inside this if I flatten it out. Then I'll put some shrink wrap on it, heat shrink, and clean it up, and put the gasket, which I believe, maybe I can salvage this one, put that back under here, and then put this base back on. Boom, I'm in business. Oh, looks like it was meant to be. Let's turn it on.